Hello and welcome to my Tarot Corner. So my country is in turmoil and I am dealing with the British royal family. Some people see me as an escapist, and probably that is what I am. But I have to say that in this moment in my life, it's easier to deal with problems that are coming from the outside. So, when we're talking about Harry and what he has been doing, it seems like he is unaware of everything, or he is way too much aware of everything, and he thinks that he can, with still win the public opinion by going on special events and going live on on Vimeo. This is an app that you can download for it's for live discussions. It's very much like Zoom, but it can also be for broadcasting live discussions that the people that are on it cannot participate. So the people who pay for the privilege of listening to Harry talk to this Dr. Gabor Mate, who is the author of The Myth of Normal, Trauma and Healing in a Toxic Culture. This is his book, and this event is going to take place on the 4th of March. And this is an event that is going to be live, but the people that are going to pay to participate in that event will not be able to ask questions. So it's going to be a live event, but Harry is not going to answer questions by other people. That is my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I know about Vimeo. Usually only on Zoom chats you can ask questions, not on Vimeo. I've been on Vimeo several times on all sorts of lectures in medicine, in Holocaust studies. So usually if there is an ability to ask questions, there are other ways to do a discussion, like go to webinar or like Zoom, but not on Vimeo. Okay, so this is one appearance, and another appearance, he is going back to Stephen Colbert next week on Tuesday. Probably because Stephen Colbert is the only one that will accept him without making fun of him. Other late night shows already ridiculed him, both Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, and Seth Meyers. All of them, I've seen them mock Prince Harry, and I know that others mocked him as well. So probably Stephen Colbert is the only one who is willing to host him without making fun of him, although I understand that his last interview, was not completely without making fun of him. But probably Stephen Colbert is willing to avoid hard questions. And probably South Park will not be one of the questions asked. So why is Prince Harry doing that? And one of the reasons that were put out is that it's part of him promoting Spare, and that the live show with Dr. Gabor Mate is something that Penguin Random House are something that they organized as part of the promotion of Spare. So why does Spare need promotion if this is such a best-selling book? I have to say that I have monitored the New York Times best-selling books lists since Spare was released. I've been monitoring the UK best-selling lists, not the Amazon best-selling list, not the book depository selling list, not best-selling list of specific shops, but best-selling list of the whole of the UK, something that is not dependent on a store, and I did not see Spare on either of those lists. So Spare was not actually on any best-selling list, not as a hardcover memoir, not as a hardcover book. So it wasn't there. So probably the sales were not as good as people want us to believe. And probably this is part of the reason why Prince Harry needs to come out to the public once again and to promote this book. Probably part of his contract with Penguin Random House. So what are we going to see there? I'm going to use the Spellcaster tarot deck. I actually meant to use these decks for another reading that I already made the thumbnail for, and I will do that reading later on with another deck, but it felt that good, right to use this deck for this reading, which I only thought about this morning, because only this morning I saw the news about this new live event. So I decided to do this reading this morning. So this is the Spellcaster tarot deck. This is another one of the basic tarot decks that every tarot reader has. Now this is my copy. It's a second-hand copy. Once again, when I started reading, most of these decks were already out and about, and I was trying to get those basic tarot decks secondhand, so I don't have to pay as much money as the new ones cost. And this one was in great condition. I also got the book with it, but it came without the box, and to say the truth, I don't really need the box. Boxes are taking a lot of space, so when I do get a box, I cannot make myself throw it out. Many tarot readers make special pouches for their decks, and they throw away the boxes. I cannot do that. When I get a box, I keep the box. So when I got this one without a box, it was like a relief. I put the book in my library, and sometimes I look at it, but as I said, I don't use the book in a day-to-day reading. So, and this is a very this is a very easy to read tarot deck, and it's beautiful. So it's one of my really favorite decks to use, not only for the channel, but also for private readings. If I don't want to use the Rider-Waite, which is my go-to deck for private readings or for readings for myself. Okay, so once again, this is a tarot reading. It is vibrational, it is open to interpretation, it exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. Okay, so let's clear the deck. And I'm going to do a Celtic cross. So I'm going to look into all of the energies around Harry appearing in new events to promote his book, and look at the underlying energies and the real reasons, what are his real motives, and how do those people see him. So in the card of the environment, I'm going to use two cards, one for Stephen Colbert and one for Dr. Mate. So Harry is going to go public again for the promotion of his book Spare. What are his real reasons for that? What are his subconscious reasons for going public again on Stephen Colbert late night show and a live event with Dr. Gabor Mate? What is he trying to achieve? Is it really about promoting his book? Are there hidden agendas here? What is his approach going to be? What is he afraid of, or what is he hoping for? What can we see about the past leading to this and the near future? What is the outcome? What are the things that are his challenges? So Prince Harry, next public engagements in Stephen Colbert's late night show and another special event live with Dr. Gabor Mate on Vimeo, something that the publishers Penguin Random House have created to promote his book Spare. This is like the locking maneuver, something that, once again, my teacher is very adamant about doing, and cutting the deck. The first card is the situation card. So what is the situation that Harry is facing right now? Or what is what is the situation that is leading to the decision to do these two public appearances? And we see the Knight of Swords. Okay, so the Knight of Swords is the spoiled kid. This card has a few ways to look at it, but in every approach to this card, it is a card of someone who loses opportunities. This is a card of someone who feels that things are going away and he's losing things. The things are just slipping through his hands. And this is the major feeling that Harry is feeling right now. Now, the spoiled kid is someone that doesn't like doing things by himself. He waits for others to do the work for him. And this is part of what Harry was waiting for things to happen by themselves. He thought that, okay, I wrote the book, I did the first tour, I did the interviews, things should have happened by themselves. He didn't think that he needed to do more than that. He really thought that that was enough. He expected the publishers to do more. He expected others to do more. He did not expect the backlash that he received. He did not expect the amount of criticism that he received. And he thought that the overall criticism of the book will be much better than the one that he received. So he thought that the fact that the book was written by an award-winning writer, and it was something that many people who read that book, I didn't, but many people who read that book said that it was well written, that it was interesting, that it was a good read. And even people that had a lot of criticism about the substance and the content of the book had a lot of good words to say about the way that it was written. And Prince Harry thought that this was enough. Now, not all of them. Many people thought that it was beneath J.R. Moringer's level. But still, a lot of people did think that it was a good read. Now, so Prince Harry, in a way, thought that this was enough, that this is something that he can just, put that book out, do the first tour of interviews, and that is enough. He did not think that he will have to sit in libraries and sign books. He did not think that he will have to do actual tours and go to bookstores like many other authors do. He didn't think that he will have to do these things. This is not something that he was prepared to do. And he was thinking that the book is going to be a bestseller, a much better seller than it really was. And if you go to my readings about the book before it was published, I always said that the book will be a success at the beginning. But very, very soon after it was published, people did not go and run to buy it. And it was very, very curious that the reports were that it was so best-selling, but the bookstores were full of books and nobody was taking books. And the reporters were standing in front of a big bookstore in London, and only one person went in to buy. So it was the contradiction here was really striking, and the fact that I never saw the book in any of the best-selling lists is also saying something. So how could it be a bestseller if it's not on any of the best-selling lists? The best-selling lists in New York Times was always Michelle Obama's book, Barack Obama's book, and then other books, not Prince Harry's book in the memoirs part of the best-selling list. So it was really not something that I never found it in any of the best-selling lists. So apparently there was this big contradiction. There was something that wasn't working here. And then he had to put on this mask of the warrior knight, which is a mask. So this is becoming the stubborn knight, the warrior, someone who is going to add into some kind of a military or militant, in a militant way, going out for a fight, protecting his ego, being the one who says the last word, going into an adversary. This is what he's doing right now. But once again, because it's a mask, this is about losing opportunities. And this is a very big problem for Harry, because he cannot find the real way of dealing with the problems. He doesn't know how to really tackle the problems. He's moving from one extreme to the other, and this is exactly the problem of all knights, that they cannot find the middle ground. They cannot really find a good way of solving problems. They are moving from one extreme to the other. With every knight it's another problem, and with the Knight of Swords is the problem of acting. And Prince Harry is moving from the inability to act into going into this phase of going out to a war. So he's not waiting to find a better way. He's going out for a war. So this is the problem. This is the situation. So what are his obstacles? And the obstacles are the King of Cups. And it came up in the reverse. So the King of Cups is Harry, and we don't even need to look at it in the reverse because it's the obstacle. So we look at it at the negative aspect of this card as it is, and the King of Cups is a difficult card from the beginning, and it is the card that best describes Harry. This is the king that feels deprived. This is the king that is motivated by need of emotional stability. This is the king that finds it hard to detach from his mother and looks for a mother figure everywhere. This is the king that feels that he's not getting what he deserves. He is the deprived king. He is the one who feels that he's slighted, that he's not, this is his main problem. This is laziness, this is slowness, this is a person that is staying in his comfort zone. He has difficulty in actually moving and leaving that comfort zone and starting to look at his life in the right light and looking at the problems in the right light. He is too sensitive. He is a person that has this old-fashioned for family perception. He is a person that has difficulty in letting the past go. He is a person that is has the tendency to get offended very easily. He's holding a grudge. He's dependent. He's procrastinating. He is finding it very difficult to be independent. And all of these things are holding Harry back. So there is no need to look at this card as a negative, because it is a negative card, and it is coming as the obstacle, so it is even more negative. So these are the things that are obstructing him. These are the things that are hindering him, the things that are challenging him. It's very, very difficult because this is a person that is going to all kinds of mental health therapies, but all the wrong sorts of mental health therapies, the ones that are cementing his feelings of deprivations, the ones that are cementing his feelings of being slighted, his feelings of being offended. He's not learning to look at his own fault. He's not learning to look at the things that he has done that led to this situation. What he's only thinking about how he himself was treated in the wrong way, how he was treated badly, and all of these feelings are holding him back. All of these feelings are causing him to feel anger, to feel to feel that he wants to go to this war, to this. He wants to go to this war, he wants to go to this fight, but he's unable because he cannot get out of his comfort zone. So this is the main contradiction in his character. He wants to fight for himself, but he cannot get out of his couch. He cannot get out of his comfort zone. He cannot really face other people's scrutiny. So he's going to find other people that will give him the stage that he is looking for to tell his side of the story without contradicting him, without putting the hard questions in his face, without challenging him. He doesn't want to be challenged. He doesn't look for challenge. He wants to be able to keep on whining, keep on telling the world how much he was slighted, deprived, and to keep on whining and telling the world that he is the one that deserves more, and he doesn't get what he deserves. So this is what he's looking for, and this is what is holding him back. Okay, next card. The next card is the subconscious influence. So this is about what is really behind these appearances. What is he really trying to get and he's not conscious of. And what I'm getting here is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so now why am I getting the cards? Okay, it's upside down. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles is a card that speaks about feeling of being threatened, and because you feel threatened, you are holding to what you have, and you are protecting what you have because you feel threatened. But the feelings of being threatened are not true. This is a person that is unable to look reality as it is. This is a person who actually stands on very solid ground. And this person has a very solid ground because all four of his limbs are on pentacles. So has a very solid ground. He's not poor, okay? He has nothing to be worried about. As you can see here, he has this stash here. He's protecting his own, and this is a person that feels so much threatened that he has to stand this way because he needs to protect his own. But these feelings are misguided, and because of that he is going to end in the Five of Pentacles, destruction and failure. So this is what this card is telling us. It's telling us that Harry has the misguided feeling of being threatened. It's not true. He has a solid ground. It's not real, but he's not checking the threats as he should, and he's not reading the map correctly. He's not seeing reality as he should. So he is protecting his own from a non-existing threat. And this is a card that shows that because of that, he's not going to end well. This is a person that is acting out of non-existing threats, and because of that, he's going to end up in destruction. It's a person that is not able to cope with reality. He's unable to see reality. So this is what is happening here. And this is his subconscious. He's not conscious of that. He's unable to see that. He doesn't understand that those threats are unreal. He doesn't see it. He really believes that they are threats. He really believes that his wife is threatened and his wife is being ostracized because she's half is biracial. He really believes in everything that he's saying. He really believes in that. He doesn't see reality as it is. He's unable to see reality. He really believes that they are under those threats, and he really believes that people are chasing them, people are looking at them, people are trying to get pictures of them. He really believes that. I don't know how can he keep on believing this nonsense, but he really believes that he is being threatened. So what is his conscious goals? What does he think that what he's going to achieve? What does he professing to himself that he's going to achieve from this these appearances? And we get the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is an ace that speaks about achieving or reaching your potential, getting your potential realized in the material world. This is what he thinks that he's going to achieve. So in his conscious mind, he thinks that this is all about getting success for his book. This is about getting the the realizing his wishes in the material world. So this is about getting what he wants. He wants his book to succeed. He wants to get more money for the things that he has done. He wants to get people to see his side of the story. He wants people to believe him. So this is what he thinks that he's going to get. This is what he believes that he wants. He doesn't realize that this is what really is in the stem of this of his going to be in these events. He doesn't understand that. He is telling himself, this is the reason why I'm going to these events. I'm going to these events to get people to hear my side of the story, to get people to understand my side of the story, to get those two dumb South Park creators see that I am not that dumb Prince of Canada. I want people to understand my side. I want people to understand that this is this is where I'm coming from. I want to realize my potential. I want my book to succeed. This is all part of getting what I want. This is part of getting my wishes realized. This is what he's saying to himself. This is what he believes that he wants. But he's not conscious of his real feelings. Okay, so what can we see for the past? What happened in the near past? And in the near past, we're seeing the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands shows that there is an inner struggle here. This is not an easy card. This is a card of an achievement or an attempt to reach victory, but this victory can only be achieved if you are asking for help. Now, in this card, one of the things that is really getting my attention is that all of these people are with their eyes closed, and all of them are trying to fight this beehive. Now, it is really curious that you're trying to get this beehive down with your eyes closed. It's like only trying to hear the bees, and by that to know where it is. And there is this spectator here that maybe is giving them some kind of advice. So this is the help from the side that is helping them to succeed. This is about victory that can be achieved only if you can get the help that you need. And Harry is like one of these that is trying to fight his fight in life with his eyes closed because he cannot see reality as it is. And he's fighting these imaginary enemies that don't really exist, because this is not a real enemy. And he won't succeed unless he listens and unless he does really get the help of someone who really helps him. And that is about asking someone to help you, and usually it is about getting outside help. Usually it is about getting mental health therapy, but in this case it is about getting someone from really outside, from outside his current sphere, to help him get out of this sphere that he's in, that is making him believe that he needs to fight this beehive with his eyes closed and only a wand in his hand, like the other people that are. It's like the other people in Hollywood or other people that are fighting this imaginary enemy with their eyes closed. This is a very strong card in this deck because it makes it very, very realizes in a very, very profound way how difficult it is for a person to fight his demons when his eyes are closed, when he cannot face reality, and how important it is to face reality when you're trying to fight your demons, when you're trying to succeed. So this card is telling Harry, or it shows that in the past, everything that he has done was fighting his enemies, fighting his demons in the wrong way. This is what it shows. It shows that he was unable to listen to the voice of reason. He was unable to listen to the real people that tried to help him. He was unable to listen to his brother. He was unable to listen to his sister-in-law. All of the people that tried to help him and try to give him the good advice that will help him reach the victory. And this is why he stayed in that position where he's unable to see reality, and he's still fighting these imaginary threats that he really believes that they are real, but they're not real. And he's completely oblivious of that. Okay, so what can we see for the near future? And the near future is the results of these two interviews. And we're getting the 10 of Swords. And it came in the reverse, so I don't know, maybe this deck is upside down, but it doesn't really matter. The 10 of Swords is not an easy card. And it shows that Harry is into a very difficult journey. The Ten of Swords is a card that you can divide into 4 stages. And the first stage is the one of making mistakes. And after you make mistakes, then you are reaching the stage of paying for those mistakes. And when you're paying for those mistakes, you are getting into the rock bottom place, which is the place of the Ten of Swords. And this is where Harry will find himself in the near future. He's not there yet, which is really quite curious that he's not there yet. But he still has a long way to go until he reaches the rock bottom place. He hasn't learned enough. He hasn't made enough mistakes. So he still has to make more mistakes in order to reach that rock bottom place. And maybe this will only happen after the coronation. But he will have to reach that place in order to learn the lesson. And only after he learns the lesson, then he will be able to see the sunlight that will come up, but it's really, really far away here in this card. So in this card, we don't see the sunlight coming up, as we see that in the Rider-Waite Ten of Swords. So in this card, we see a man that is really, really in the rock bottom place. And this is the place where Harry will be in the next future, in the near future. And the near future could be even in the next few months, even in the next year. Usually, a Celtic cross is for a year. So this is usually the next year. This is usually what I can say during the next year, he will reach that place. Now, whether or not he will learn from his mistakes, this is another question, because only after he learns from his mistakes, he will be able to rehabilitate himself. And he will have to learn from his mistakes in order to do that. It's not an easy thing to do. And unless he learns from his mistakes, he will stay in this position, in that Ten of Swords place. Okay, next card. What is his approach going to be in those interviews? And what I'm getting here is the Two of Swords. Okay, so the Two of Swords is a card that speaks about being unable to see reality because usually your eyes are are closed with a blindfold, and because you're unable to see reality, you are unable to cope with reality, and if you cannot cope with reality, you're making the wrong choice. You're making a mistake that leads to the Three of Swords, which is another card of destruction. So we have two cards here to lead to destruction. One is the subconscious of Harry, and the other is Harry's attitude. Now, in this card, we see that he's doing those, or he's making those mistakes with his eyes wide open. So here, this woman, which is a woman of color, standing here with two swords in her hands, and she sees reality. She knows exactly what she's standing, what is there before her, and she still makes that mistake, and she's still leading to the Three of Swords. So we will see Harry making those mistakes that will lead him to the Ten of Swords with his eyes wide open. Now, it doesn't mean that he can cope with reality. What it means is that despite the fact that he has his eyes open, he cannot see reality. It's like his eyes are open but masked with what is subconscious, or with what is being fed to him by what is his well, the way that reality is being told to him. It's like a person that is it's like a person that is blind and needs description of the when he comes to a new place, he needs a description of the place so he knows where to go. So the word that I was looking for is a mediator. And it looks like, although Harry has his eyes open, the mediator that is interpreting life to him, or his current situation to him, is not giving him the right picture. And that is why he is unable to cope with his reality, because he doesn't know what his real life is all about, what is his true reality is. And this is why he's making all of those mistakes, and this is why he will end up in this Ten of Swords energy. Okay, so how do those interviewers see Harry? So first card is for Stephen Colbert, and Stephen Colbert sees Harry as the Six of Wands. So he's already interviewed him, and I have to say one thing. He's not seeing Harry as a winner. He sees Harry as someone who will make him a winner. He sees Harry as someone who is very much a good gambling option for him to take as an interviewee. Despite the fact that it is a pre-recorded show, that it's not in front of a live audience, I just wonder if they will try to make believe that it's in front of a live audience like they did in the last time. But everybody knows that it's not going to be in front of a live audience. But for Stephen Colbert, it's a winning card. It's because he knows that nobody else will get Prince Harry. He knows that Prince Harry is right now in his pocket, as you can say. He's the only one who got him in the first round, and then all the other late night shows hosts came out against Harry, and now he's the only one who gets to to interview him in the second round, and he will have a lot to ask Harry about. I don't know if Harry will answer all of his questions, but he has a lot to ask him. So I suppose that he will touch all of the sensitive issues. So he sees that as a winning horse for him. And he knows that many people will tap into that show. He knows that he will get a lot of viewing for that show. So this is a win-win situation for him. How does Dr. Mate sees Harry? And what we're getting is the Page of Cups. So when Dr. Mate sees is a person that, and I remind you, Dr. Mate is a person that wrote The Myth of Normal, Trauma and Healing in a Toxic Culture. So this is a person that is coming from this whole situation, from this whole narrative of trauma and healing in a toxic culture. So our culture is toxic, and trauma and healing is difficult in a toxic culture, and being normal is a myth. So he's coming from the same narrative that Harry is, and he's looking at Harry as this artist that is a person that needs help. This is the younger version of the King of Cups, but this is a person that is in dire need for mental health therapy. So he sees him as a person with trauma. He sees him as someone who is mentally ill. He sees him as someone who needs help mentally. Now, whether or not it will develop to seeing him as he really needs to be seen, as his real problems are, that is another question. I don't know how clinical this person is, or how able he is to see reality or the real trauma here. But this is something that he will have to be able to notice when he's interviewing Harry. But this is how he sees him right now before meeting him. So he's kind of taking pity of him. He sees him as a sick person. He sees him as a person that is tending to get all sorts of addictions. This is the addictive part of him, the one who drinks that cup and not only taking the cup. He sees him as someone who is not healthy mentally and someone who needs help. And once again, in this card, we see the moon, and the moon is the mother. So Dr. Mates does see the connection between Harry and his mother. So he sees the problems here. He sees how Harry's connection to his mother and the fact that his mother died has traumatized him. He does see that as a cause to his trauma, but whether or not he will be able to diagnose the real problems of Harry, that is a very good question. Okay, so what does Harry need to know out of all of this? And what we're getting here is the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, that's a card of collaboration and reward. And Harry, what he needs to know is if he collaborates with what Penguin Random House says to him, what other people tell him to do, then he will get the reward. This is like, it's funny because right now there is a new tarot deck called Feudal Pavlov. And you know that Pavlov came up with the known Pavlovian reaction theory of when you are giving a dog, or when you are giving a dog food and you put on the bell, and then when you're putting on the bell, the dog is coming up for food because he is making the connection between the bell and the food. So this is a Pavlovian reaction, and this is something that is not true only for animals. It's true for humans as well. Now, this tarot deck is way expensive, very expensive. I'm waiting for the prices to come down. It's amazing, and but still. This is what Harry needs to know, that this is what he's been trying to, this is what people are trying to train him to, this Pavlovian reaction. If you cooperate, you will get that money. This is about getting the reward if you cooperate with us. Cooperate with us, you will get the reward that you want. This is not only about monetary reward. This is about getting the recognition that he wants. This is getting the honors that he wants. So all of this is something that he needs to know, and he will never realize that. This is something that he needs to know that, but he will never understand that, because he's not smart enough to understand that this is how people are taking advantage of him. People are taking advantage of him because they know that he is very susceptible, that he is very easy to manipulate. And right now they are just training him to this Pavlovian reaction of, I'm giving you when you are doing what I'm asking you to do. And then they will try asking him to do without giving him anything in return. But he will start doing things without getting anything in return, because he will be trained. Because this is how people and dogs and humans are being trained when they are under a spell of people that are manipulating them. Okay, last card is the outcome card, and the outcome card is the Three of Wands. So I just spoke about getting the recognition and the cooperation, and this is the outcome card. And the outcome card is about getting cooperation and recognition, and this is the outcome in the aftermath of things. If Harry realizes the things that he has gone through, if he learns the lessons, if he starts to understand the things that he has done, then he will be able to get recognition on top of the rewards and get the cooperation that he needs from other people, but really cooperation and really recognition, not the things that he thinks now that he wants, but the real things that he needs. And we are going back to the Ace of Wands, because the Ace of Wands is what he thinks that he wants, but the Three of Wands is a card that is talking about the real things that he needs. And this is about the things that he wishes and things that he thinks that he needs, but these are the things that he really needs. And this is the cooperation and the reward by other people that will help him get out of this, get out of all of this. And this is only if he learns the lessons. If he learns the lessons, if he opens his eyes, if he sees reality, and if he doesn't let others put him in this place of getting the rewards for that cooperation, but starting to demand not reward, but recognition. If you're starting to demand not a reward, not a monetary reward, not tangible reward, but I want the recognition that I deserve, then you're starting to understand that what is important in life is not the tangible things, it's not the monetary things, it's not the things that you can touch. It's the honors, It's the real things that are important. It's people honoring you. It's people respecting you. This is the things that are important. And these are the things that he needs to demand. These are the things that he needs to be very, very adamant about. And as long as he is still letting others convince him that the monetary rewards are important, sorry about that. So as when he understands that, when he starts he starts demanding the respect that he deserves, the honor that he deserves, then he stops being this pawn that people are using to get their own success, and he starts getting his success. Then this card begins to be his success. And it's not a coincidence that we get so many wands here, the 3 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, the 5 of Wands. All of these cards are here, but the 4 of Wands isn't. And why is it? Because the 4 of Wands is about embarking on this road to realize your potential, but enjoying the road. And Harry does not enjoy the road. He doesn't enjoy all of this. He doesn't. And he feels that he's in a battle from the beginning. He feels that he needs to fight. He feels that he hasn't got the real power to fight, but he doesn't have the stamina to fight, but he feels that he needs to fight, and it was beforehand, and he feels that he needs to do that all over again, all over the readings, all over this year. He feels that he needs to fight, and he feels that he has no power. He is deprived. He is whiny and he's procrastinating. He has no power. But he feels that he needs to fight. He needs to protect his own. He feels all the time that he needs to protect his family, his name, everything. But all he needs to do is demand what he really deserves, which is recognition, which is honor, which is respect. And when you demand these things, then you don't need people to start giving you things. You take the things that you deserve. But you need to respect others in order to get the respect of others. So this is an important thing that he needs to learn. Respect comes from cooperation. This is why it's the 3 of Wands. It comes from cooperation. You need to cooperate with other people that will respect you. This is not something that comes from asking people to respect you. It is after you cooperate with them, then you make sure that they will respect you as part of the deal. But they need to know that this is part of the deal, and you need to be worthy their respect. Okay, I hope that I made myself clear. I really do hope. But this is the tarot. The oracle deck is the Sacred Rebel Oracle. Well, Harry is a rebel, but not a sacred one, that's for sure. And the advice is for us on dealing with all of his new media onslaught by Harry. Well, I have no intention of watching him, not on the Colbert Show, not on that show. I will probably watch the snippets that will come out on social media, but I will not watch the entire show, although it will probably be on YouTube as the previous one was, but I didn't watch it. Okay, I will not give them the clicks. Clearing the deck. Okay, so how can we deal with Harry's new media onslaught? How can we deal with Harry's new media onslaught? Okay, and the card that we're getting is Dream a Beautiful Dream. Okay, so the message of these cards is quite complex, and I'm not going to go into all of it. But what I do find in this entire message is this passage. This oracle also comes with a particular message for you. There is a situation in your life right now where you feel uncertain about your ability to fix or heal. You lack the inspiration to be able to imagine it differently than how it is currently seems to be. You may therefore feel inhibited in your ability to bring about constructive change. However, the perfect beauty of this situation is not revealed by what you attempt to do to it or through trying to impose the right dream upon it. It is to be healed and perfected into all that it can be through the revelations of the beauty that already lies within it. And I'm looking at this message as the possible outcome of these interviews and the possibilities that lay from the outcomes of these interviews and what we can extract from these public performances of Prince Harry, and maybe the beauty lies within. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.